Hey everybody, welcome back to the Big Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Chase, and with me, as always, is Andrew.
Hello.
And we're the big fans of sports, media, TV, video games. Fuck, I already fucked up my intro. I was gonna fucking just flow it out.
It's okay.
So I heard an intro. Every podcast has a good intro. I was like, oh man, we're the big fans, like fans of like everything. I was gonna end it with in life, but I fucked all that up.
It's okay.
It's better than me getting all weird, like usually. I'm coming at you.
Coming at you fast.
And like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Just whatever.
So we'll go back here. I think we're almost to episode 30. This is going to be number 29, I believe.
We're out of our teens?
Yeah, we're out of our teens for a while now.
We're grown-ass men now.
I mean, I think we probably would have been at 40, but we skip a couple weeks or holidays and everything. But yeah, bro. We're actually coming up to, I think, our first year of podcasting. Because we started off in December, I believe.
Yeah, no. I thought it was January, no?
No, because it was Super Bowl predictions. Remember, we had this is like because we had Brian, the professor,
right,
on right before Super Bowl because he was a Patriots fan.
That's right. Yeah.
So we started
the great cheese story.
Yeah, the cheese story. Right. We had our podcast in December.
Yeah,
because then I went on a trip. To the Bay, and I think you went somewhere. So we're coming up there.
That's pretty quick, man.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
It's flying
by 2015.
I know, man. I'm ready for it though. I'm ready for the December. I'm ready for that.
I'm ready for the new
gadgets. New gadgets.
Have you seen the new shit for the iPhone stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the conference and everything.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Nerd.
I was pretty nerdy. I'm at work, right, and I'm just sitting in the break room. Everyone's around, sitting, my own workmates or whatever, and I'm just completely walling them off. Don't talk to me. I'm on my phone, just fixated on, okay, this is going on. Because you can, this year they had, live streaming, so you could watch it, from Apple. Because usually you have to depend on, a third party, to stream it.
Telescope, whatever it's called. Yeah. Telescope, Periscope.
Yeah.
It's a scope.
But, it was fun. I mean, they showed off a lot of good stuff.
I like that whole thing where when you take a picture, you tap the screen, and it's the motion of the background, the video of the background, but you're still.
Yeah, it's almost like a GIF.
But it's you're still my thing I saw was there's a waterfall behind you, it's all moving and shit, and you're just I don't know, that's not how I pose.
That's how the kids did it.
The kids are posing, and then the waterfall's going on.
Right.
That's fucking sick. Yeah. That's totally futuristic shit. I always think of movies not I Am Legend, but I Am Robot, or just random shit in the futuristic, or
Minority Report,
stuff like that. Where you see them in the background, just pictures and just motion, and it's just they're still that's fucking.
Cool. Do you ever? I don't know if you remember, but I know growing up with a Mexican family, my grandmother anyway, they always had those pictures. I don't know if you saw them. They're
it's gonna be good.
They varied in size, but you could see it would be when it was because you could turn you turn it on and off the picture. It's kind of weird. So there's a layer of a scene, right? A waterfall or a creek.
Okay.
And then when you turn it on, it lights up, and then somehow behind that still picture was it mimicked a moving water.
I never heard.
You never saw that?
Never seen it.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's really weird. But it was really bad looking. It didn't look good. But
thrift store, not thrift store, but swap market, swap meet.
No,
stuff.
It just didn't.
Just weird.
It didn't that's a real river. It didn't look like a real river.
God damn, that's a good river right there.
River. No, it just looked like a crappy picture with a.
I just thought maybe I'm taller than you because I have a hat on.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, I should have worn my hat to defeat your hat.
Just gold, platinum,
black and gold, like your.
It's so funny. When we were at the baseball game a month or two ago. These guys behind us were also Giants fans. He's like, "Where'd you get your hat?" And I was like, store. You're when you ask me questions in public, if I'm just
you're just so looking at the ground.
Yeah, it's just okay, you want this stick. It was so weird. And the funny thing is, it's I think he was sitting on my back left. So on this side of the hat it says World Series, and whatever. Right. And it's just I would assume. I mean, this is me because I don't want people talking to me. It's this hat probably came out after the World Series.
Right. Obviously.
Yeah. And because he was oh, where'd you get that? I was store, I don't know. God, I just remember the guy was just okay. Like, fucking weirdo.
.com.
And I remember Danielle was just, what's wrong with you? Like,
Really?
Not like that mean, but she's like, why don't you just tell him? I'm like, I don't know.
That's weird. I don't know. I mean, I get it though.
Weird.
Like, if you don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to talk to anybody.
Like, I remember we bumped into someone. It was we were out shopping. We were at Target, and we bumped into someone who I knew. And he was like, hey, like we made the first, if you're not, I think I said it was before, maybe I've talked about this already in the podcast, where if I don't know you, or if you're not like in my close circle of friends, and I see you in public, it's going to be weird because like, I'm going to make eye contact with you and I'm going to look down and you're going to see me and it's just like, I'm going to be like, oh, hey, you know, and I'm going to call you a sport or something stupid like that.
You didn't call me sport.
No, I don't know. I think it was we just meant to be.
I think it's because we already felt sort of comfortable because of our friend.
Yeah, plus we're a big five. You got a man, big five. So like I saw him, I was like, hey, and he's like, hey, you start walking over. I was like, want to shake hands? And he was just like, did you do something to your hand? Like I was like, oh no, like.
Wait, you said do you want to shake hands? You said that.
You just like weirded out, and the whole time I didn't even introduce Danny or anything like that. She was just like, "You're not gonna introduce me." Like after we all walked away, and it was just like super fucking awkward. But because like,
always funny though. Like,
because it's funny now because like you're just like, "How's it going, bud?" And you shake your hand, but like to be asked, "You want to shake hands?" Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've never asked anybody if they want to shake my hand.
Yeah.
I mean. Like you
just gotta like think like, did you do something to it? Like, did you wipe? Or
you should start pulling out your forearm like the old Viking
gladiator. Yeah,
handshake. Like that's probably the new.
Well, the one thing I don't do is bump. I don't. Fist
I know
bump.
you're not a bumper. I'm okay with bumping. I mean, especially if I'm like about to eat food.
Yeah, that makes
if
sense.
Someone comes up to me like. I'm not going to shake your hand and go wash my hands again.
I've had so many encounters that's in class or in school in the hallway and they're like, hey, I'm like, hey. And I like bump their hand. I'm like,
do you do that just to be like a contrarian?
Actually, to this point now, it's just like nature to me. Like, I'm not going to bump you, you know? And I've had people like, why do you not bump? I'm like, I don't like it. I'm like, she can shake my hand. I'll high five you, but.
You like the warm embrace of a hand?
Yeah, well, I don't know, like, because I like the opportunity when someone shakes your hand, you're either going to be like, cool, just a handshake, or you're going to be like, okay, that was weird as fuck, because sometimes people do like the dead fish. Right. Or the squiggler, you know, the wiggler,
you
or
like
the finger.
That?
No,
you like to find that out?
Find that out, like what kind of person is this guy?
I like to just play it safe, like quick, you know, one touch and you're done. Because the handshake, you're like for a while, like
that's I think you're a little softer than I am.
When should I hang on? When should I let go?
Yeah,
that's true. Like that whole it's like a microaggression, or like I'm gonna squeeze a little tighter than you.
I've been in situations where I just like let go, and they're like, "Oh, we weren't done." I was just like, "Oh, it's done."
I don't like when people shake my hand while they're deadlocked me in the eyes.
Oh yeah, I can do eye contact, like I can do it, but then after a while, like in my head, I'm like, okay, too long, look away.
Right? Yeah.
And I'll do that a lot. I'm like, okay, look away now.
Yeah.
Back up, because I was taught like look someone in the eye. Because maybe I was autistic. So like look them in the eye. You know?
I just think that's just like.
Yeah, being polite and like but then like but then if they're really looking at me, I'm like.
Okay. Some people have like those eyes when they're looking at you. It seems like they're really looking at you. Yeah, or judging, or like they're looking through you. Yeah, and other people like it's kind of inviting eyes, but
I don't like that.
No.
Social encounters. I'm actually writing a paper right now, a fucking huge ass research paper about how we're becoming socially like isolated, and like I'm all about that. Like
I know, right? Like I'm fine. With
I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, Some people think it's bad, but I think it's okay.
It's funny because like the class I have to do it in, I don't ever talk in this class just because like it's called cyber theory, and the funny thing about this is I learned more on this subject of cyber theory from a 2-hour TED talk this past weekend.
Really?
Oh, I swear, like this, the one that just came out too. It was all about your screens, basically, our screen, and it was just how it was about isolation. It was like the future of like technology. It was just like everything related to technology of how we're going,
especially like VR and stuff.
Oh yeah, virtual reality, and everything. It was super cool. And then in this class, it's just like on the quiz. On the final exam, right? It was just like, what is cyberpunk? Give me 3 or 5 themes of cyberpunk. Like shit like this.
Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Why?
What
does it have to do with that?
Exactly. And then another question on the thing was just like, what is cyberbullying? And and I think I got this wrong because what I wrote was this oversensitivity. I wrote so I wrote something about how mediocrity in competition where everyone is we're all equals when it comes to competition. Like, there's no.
You wrote that for bullying?
Yeah. because like that's true though. Because the role, like I think like that's true.
Bullying is when someone's talking crap.
Cyberbullying.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like say I post a picture.
It's because of everyone's equal in competition. There's no first, second, and third place anymore.
I kind of see where you're going, but I don't think that's what they're
like the other day. Someone tagged me in the post that it was like a soccer team, and all the kids playing were number 1 jerseys. They're all number 1.
Right.
Those kids get cyberbullied.
No.
I didn't grow up with cyberbullying. I just grew up where if you were bullying me, I was quicker and funnier to get out of situations so I wasn't beat up. That was me.
Right, but that's not what they're asking.
I gave her what?
You let her know either way. Now she knows.
Now she knows. You're a dick. You were a bully. I'm like, actually, no, I wasn't. But yeah, so anyway, there was actually a cool TED Talk where.
This is newer?
Yeah, it just came out. It was actually really interesting.
I didn't know they keep coming out with TED Talk.
It's on the podcast, the NPR TED Talk app or podcast.
I know they have a TED Talk app.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Podcast. Yeah, it's really cool. Like I've been digging them because they do TED Talk and then they go into the interview with the person giving the TED Talk and they go like back and forth kind of thing. It's actually one of my favorites now.
Yeah,
I've been digging on it. Like they had a bunch. They have one about like what makes a person a champion, like the drive to like succeed and be a champion.
Pretty much insanity.
Yeah, it really. That's what it really was. Like they had this one lady who like swam from Miami to like Cuba.
Yeah,
she was like 60 old. Or 70 years old. She failed before, but it was just like
I watched what.
Yeah, it's interesting, but like they would interview her, so it's out of her TED Talk. But it's one of my favorites, so it's pretty bitchin'.
I'll have to look at it again because I got like there was a while where I was like just every TED Talk I could find.
Very interesting.
But I got burnt out, like especially that intro. Like I just got tired of hearing that intro.
Technology, entertainment design. I always like that one part because the guy's like, "Is that what it means?" I'm like, "I was like, does that what it means?" Like,
I don't know. Does it?
Yeah, technology, entertainment, design is what TED Talks mean. Makes sense, right? Like,
yes, yeah. It's better than just Bob. Like,
Bob Talks.
Bob Talks.
Bob Talks. I would listen to it. Bob Talk. It's a guy named Bob. But yeah, so of course we're doing video again.
Yeah,
video.
This is the third try. So
third try.
Last time video, for whatever reason, the phone like stopped recording. I got like 7 minutes of it.
That's
and
weird.
then it just stopped.
Was it memory?
No, I had tons of memory.
Yeah, so you just cleared it too, huh?
Yeah, like I checked right now. I have like 20 gigs free, and I was like, I'm not gonna chance it. I'll just try with this camera.
Yeah. So it looks pretty cool. Like
like right now we're watching ourselves on our phone, iPhone. So
okay, Inception right now.
It's like Inception. Us watching us.
Yeah.
So it's
pretty cool. Someone saw like you know what I don't like about Facebook. Real quick, this is a good segue. But you know when you like stuff, people see what you like. I don't like that because sometimes I like weird things.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? So
you know what? Though I think you have to like select who likes you see or don't see because
you can change that.
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Because there's some people that pop up online, and I'm wondering like, do I pop up on theirs or is it everybody? Because
it's weird because I like 2 things from Vice recently that were fucking funny as shit. Really? One of them was like, do are fat girls really good in bed or some shit like that? I was like, funny, I liked it. And like, it's usually the image they had is funny as shit. Sure. And then another one was pulling out is the best birth control method of birth control. And the picture, did you see that picture?
I didn't see it.
It's a girl just getting blasted by.
Are you serious?
So it's like, let's say the picture is her face and you see like blasting coming. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, that's so funny. And I liked it. Yeah. And I had like 3 people text me with a screenshot of Chase Newman Bear has liked this. And they're like, what's wrong with you? I was like, did you read it? It's funny. Like,
we had 3 people take the time out of their day
to screenshot it and then send it to me. And I was like, did you read it? It's really fucking funny. Alone, the picture is funny. Because it's just like a hose. It looked like a fire hose just getting blasted in.
That's funny.
So the article actually went into like how young, it was actually like making fun of it, where young, not preteens, but just 13 to 18, I guess, and like 22, I think they're so considered, pulling out. And how it's not 100%, obviously not 100%, way of birth control, but how one guy has been successful with pulling out and everything, which
He has been?
He's been successful, and I was like, maybe think, because you want to talk about pulling out. And maybe thought,
that's a funny topic.
Maybe think of Colin, who, if you go on the podcast, there's Drinking with Colin, 3 parts, which, if you listen to those, like, it's good for you, because that must be, I haven't heard all of them. Like, I've edited it, and, like, real quick, and, sent it up, but I know, I just hear that we, mostly myself and Colin, are just, like, drunk. Blitz.
A little drunk.
But Colin, he claims that he has mastered the technique of pulling out.
Everybody thinks that.
Yeah. And
I've mastered it.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, I've been lucky. But just cracked me up is because I was talking with Colin, I was like, well, I think you've just been lucky. Right. Like that's...
Yeah, there's no... I mean, the only way you can master is if you've done it at all and then you haven't gotten pregnant. You mastered it. Because otherwise, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it just cracked me up because the art of it is nothing hard. It's hard because it's so good, but you're like, oh shit, and it's like it's the worst. Like in my opinion, like I don't like pulling out. It's the worst because it's just a mess, and it's just like hot towel now. Like, it's just it's
or you just roll around.
We need new sheets.
These ones are not going to.
These ones are going to be sticky now. But I don't know. Like, do you think the majority of people are just pulling out?
Yeah.
Because I don't like.
I mean, why? There's so many kids now. Like,
that's true.
Blowing up, and it's because people think they mastered the art of pulling out.
So. Well, it's like I ordered I almost call them dong bongs, or I forget what I was calling them. I call them weird shit. I rhyme. I think it's known that I rhyme. But
you're a natural rhymer.
Yeah, I'm a natural rhymist. But I've ordered condoms off Amazon, which is the safest place to order. I hate the interaction of purchasing condoms.
I love that.
I hate it.
I think it's funny because it's a little awkward.
It's awkward as fuck, and I don't like it. Because it's either like, getting asked tonight, just like, don't bring it up. Like, don't talk to me. Just swipe it and put it away.
I've never had anyone say anything to me.
I've had people. I had one person be like, oh, you get lucky tonight. And then they were like, I wish I was. I'm like, just stop. Like, leave me alone. And then 2, be like, this is a good brand. Like, oh, Jesus. Like,
I'm just practicing.
Yeah.
Just say something really weird back.
Just don't do that. And then like the one place I bought them at was like a Walgreens or a CVS, where the condoms are right in front of the prescription, like, people.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, so when you walk up, they're just, like, looking and you're like...
They know what you're getting, and you know that they know what you're getting.
Condoms. Yeah. Just walk away. And I don't like this. I've been ordering them off Amazon now, and...
You're probably getting a better price anyway.
Probably. And it's just no interaction.
Yeah. Do you have them delivered straight to your house? Or do you have like a secret drop-off place?
No, it's like usually I gotta pick it up at the PO. Not the PO box. I usually have to pick them up at the behind the counter at the PO at the post office.
Oh, really?
Because like the box is like it's too big. It's not too big for the mailbox.
Yeah, those XLs.
Yeah, but you know how like some boxes are just too, I guess, whatever. But
I gotcha.
That's another rant. One day is the post office. Worst people in the world.
I love every post office.
The local post office, right? They have a bell if they're not right there, and I hate bells. Like I hate
like those little dingers.
Those little ding.
Yeah.
If they're not right there, it says ring bell for service. If we're not there, every fucking time, ding, be right with you. Jesus Christ! Like it's so fucking rude about it.
It's because you're dinging it with attitude.
I swear to God, dude, I'm like, ding. Like I try so hard to just kind of tap it.
Excuse me.
I know, like,
excuse me,
I need you, please.
Hello?
Yeah,
just tap on the table real quick.
What like, I was like, was the if they're on top, they can't get pregnant?
Right, those myths, like,
those myths are there.
Strategies, like, if
you do it in the butt, can't get pregnant, which is true.
That's like 100% true.
Which is true, yeah.
I haven't tested it.
No, it's true.
I'm not a scientist, but as far as what I've known, that's true.
We gotta have talk sex with Colin.
Oh, yeah.
because he's single and he's just in LA and I quotes, he is smashing ass.
Right, because he's
his words.
Well, I mean, if he's getting more than one girl a year, he's smashing compared to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You're married now.
Well, I'm just saying, as far as diversity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think it'd be a funny podcast, just talking sex with Colin, because he's
like, my stories are done. I don't have any stories anymore.
Exactly. It's just like, well, it was a Tuesday night.
Yeah. And
usually on Tuesdays.
And I fell asleep right away.
Yeah, right. And Colin what you may call it, he's just, everyone knows Colin. He's adorable. Everyone likes him. And girls fucking love him. And he has stories. So we're going to do that one day.
That'd be fun.
Speaking of just that, we need a guest. We haven't had a guest in a while.
If you guys know any guests, if you want to be on here and you can speak clearly and not be weird. I mean, we're weird, but not weirder than us.
Weirder than
me. We'd love to have you on.
Yeah. Because
we'll screen you first.
I was thinking it's almost time to have Travis Kettleshape, but he's big time now.
I know he's like in the paper. He's in. He's doing like a bunch of spots.
2 and everything. He's big time now.
He's not gonna remember us. We're too little for him.
Too little for him, but maybe we should reach out. He reached out to you that one time, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, reached out to you.
I mean, I hope he just remembers. Well, we got him.
Yeah, right. I myself, as an egomaniac, will say I was not a stepping stone because that's like he stepped on me, but I was a
launchpad.
Boom, launchpad. Yeah, we were a launchpad to his career.
Big fan of podcast Launchpad.
Yeah. Okay, so pulling out, it works. Messy, it works.
I am a master.
Yeah. I don't think I am a master because. I don't know, because it's all about aim. I don't know. Sometimes I get messy, and it's just like the grossest thing in the world. You know.
I mean, if it comes out, you mastered it. I don't care where it goes after that. True. If it's out and she's not.
I feel like to master it, like when it comes out, it should go somewhere where it's not on me.
Like a timing thing, like a timing of the delivery.
Like a wall or some shit.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Be gross.
Yeah.
Fucking. Too graphic. Don't want to go in Mike's room.
I have to clean the walls at least twice a week.
You know, some of my best kids were on the side of the bathroom wall.
His are probably trucker bathrooms.
Dude, those things are the worst. Have you been inside?
No, you know what? He sent me texts of like, because I didn't believe him. This why, and that's because we're weird or anything.
Truckers are I told stories about the truckers at my now old job.
Right.
They're gross. They're gross
people. But so there's a few like stops he's shown me where he sent me pictures, and it looks like a palace inside. Like it's gorgeous.
Really?
Like a hotel, like
out of California or just different spots.
Yeah, I didn't ask where it was, but there's a few of them, and they're really nice.
Different spots, maybe, huh?
So yeah, probably. Anyways,
that's pretty cool.
They were nice. Yeah.
He's gone right now.
He just got back today.
Where's he at?
He's probably smashing ass. Yeah, he's probably smashing right now. So
I'm gonna have him back on it because he always cracks me up.
Yeah, he'll be awesome.
And before we go into our longer topic, we're in fantasy football right now.
Yes, we are.
Right now, I'm 2-0 in our ESPN league.
I'm 1-1.
Is that a PPR? Is that PPR league?
No, that's a standard.
See,
PPR is points per catch or per possession.
But that's how the ESPN one works. The receivers get points per reception.
No,
it's odd.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's every 10 yards you get a point.
Check it out. But anyway, I'll keep talking. I'm 2-0 in that one. Yeah. I'm killing it because why? You don't draft a quarterback in the first round.
I didn't draft a quarterback.
Yeah, but there's other people who did.
Sure.
And I did not. So
I did a different formula this year. I went wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
You got a lot of receivers.
And,
so
it didn't work out.
Check it out. Every 5 receptions, points.
No. But that's not a PPR though. Because PPR is every reception's a point.
Our Yahoo League isn't like that. It doesn't count receptions. No, it doesn't count that. I thought it was interesting, but I killed it this past week with a couple people. But I lost pretty horrible in my Yahoo League. Yeah. I got screwed over. So it's rough. But I'm 1-1
now.
Are you 1-1? Yeah, I'm 2-0.
I think I'm 0-2 in Yahoo.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, did you see who Mike? He sat so many people.
He?
Yeah, dude.
He still beat the crap out of me.
Yeah, I know he beat you. And I was telling Chris because we were watching the Packers Seahawks game, which was a funny game to watch.
I didn't watch it.
It was actually pretty good because Seahawks ended up playing dirty and they started getting fights. One guy got ejected. Seattle, number 50, not Bobby Wagner, but the other inside linebacker. He got ejected because he was just grabbing. He grabbed someone's. I guess he was on top. He grabbed someone's face mask and he was just pulling it. And the Packers, he only grabbed the face mask because he was fucking ripping his head off.
Right, he was defending.
So he got ejected. And then, what should we call it? Green Bay, Rodgers. I can't think of his first name right now. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron?
Dude is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's got a few skills.
yeah, just a few. But someone that it's kind of off topic, but I was watching college football Saturday.
Yeah.
University of California, the Bears.
They were bad.
Dude, Jared Goff. I think it's Joff.
I think it's Joff.
He is a young Aaron Rodgers. This kid is sick as fuck. Anytime the pocket collapsed,
I only watched like a quarter of that game, but it was bad.
Yeah, well, they lost by 1 point because the field goal got missed. But I was watching that quarterback. Same thing. He would jump out of the pocket, just step forward. Movements. He would these little quick little moves, and it was just like, and then you just bomb it. I was like, damn, that's cool to watch, you know?
Yeah, there's those little movements inside the pocket, just to the left or to the right or up.
You either do it, you either get it or you don't get it. You know what I mean? There's some like that small elite.
I mean, he's still gonna have a big learning curve. I mean,
and once you go into the NFL,
because the speed difference, but
yeah, exactly. But that was a good game. But yeah, the people that
who did he sit out?
Mike had. Who did he have?
Are you sure it was Mike?
Maybe it wasn't Mike. I think it was you, maybe, huh? Was it you? Oh, yeah, it was Mike. Yeah, because Mike had some dude named Allen Robinson who got almost 30 points. Yeah, also
is that a wide receiver?
Yes, receiver for the Jaguars. And then and Mike also sat Larry Fitzgerald, who I would too, who got 30 points. Yeah. And then that's about it. But it's just like if we would have played those people, we would have beat you by like almost 50 points, you know. But that's pretty.
He killed me. Yeah.
Fantasy football is fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I played Matt next week. I think I'm going to beat him.
I haven't looked at that matchup yet. What teams are playing who?
Yeah, I think I got him. Just because, I don't know. He has two good players. Yeah. The tight end and his quarterback. That's all he has.
Does he?
Yeah. If you look at
his record? 1-1?
I think he's 2-0 right now. But if you look at the people he's been playing against, they're the people I beat. Like, they're the people who just also drafted badly. It's all about smarts, bro.
No,
smarts. It's all luck, really. It's really all luck. You never know what's gonna happen,
dude. I drafted Des Bryant out,
and
then I wanted to draft Tony Romo. Luckily, I didn't take him, but he's out. Done.
Did you see what's the old fuck's name? Jerry Jones, whatever. Did you see his reaction when he got injured?
No.
Once he got injured, he was just like, "Fuck!" Like he just put his hand to his side, like season's over.
I mean, he's gonna buy somebody else. Yeah, he's got a lot of money.
He has a lot of money.
Pours it in,
But it was one of those things where it was just like, oh shit.
Did you see that? Did you see that post of potential trade for RG3 to the Cowboys?
No.
Because I mean, RG3 is just sitting on the bench right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably get him cheap.
Yeah. But that dude's a wash.
Yeah, but he's probably better than their backup.
Brandon Whedon, I think it is.
Is it? Yeah, he's okay, I guess.
He's all right.
I mean, he's probably not as good as or as bad as
Clutch.
Yeah,
as Clutch. But anyways, we'll kind of move on here in football. But we both lost.
Barely.
Yeah, well, us two barely.
Oh yeah, yours is barely. You barely lost.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Little thing about the San Francisco 49ers. Defense actually looked like what everyone was saying. Like we're supposed to be so shitty.
Yeah.
But what was crazy, it wasn't like really that in the sense. It was just like there was times where like they would go for sacks, like we could have sacked them, but there was hesitation. There was so much hesitation on our defense. It was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like there was times where Big Ben would have got sacked, but there was like they stalled and then he would throw the ball. And then there's other hesitation on the deep end of the field where they would just stop covering people and they would like hesitate. Boom, 50 yards, and then they would tackle. It was just like
that's bad defense.
That's bad defense. And it was just like, whoa, boys.
See, the Chargers. Let's just clear this up.
They still lost though.
They lost, but their rookie kicker he's missed a field goal in each game.
What's up with that?
And we would have won. Like
there's been kicking all the year, so I guess it's still early. It's only week 2, but there's been kicking.
Well, because it's further back.
But I mean, even then, like I remember I was reading this one thing.
I think it's all mental. Like
I think it's just all mental because I remember I was reading this one thing where this one kicker was saying like anything that's within the 50-yard line,
they should be able.
It's gonna go in because he said like even if it's from the 20, the 30, or 50, all those are like 50-yard kicks. They're just the net catches it.
Yeah, they get stopped.
So they're just saying that like it's still gonna be good, but there's been times where it's just like yo, you just fucked up. Yeah. You have one job.
They messed up.
Yeah. But rough week, fun week for fantasy.
Yeah.
Sad week for losing.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about and start the podcast now.
Pulling it out.
We're pulling it out, literally. We're pulling out, but now we're putting it back in.
Okay. Locking
for our last long topic being top sitcoms of all time. That's so weird, but all right. So the first little part of the episode, I realized the mic wasn't turned on for Andrew, So you just hear my loud ass talking, and then you just hear Andrew like in the background.
I'm just I'm here in the background.
So we're gonna start off on doing the list. I like list.
Yeah.
Like we've done it. We've done best actors. We've done best theme songs. Dramas or something like that. We did something, movies or some shit like that, right?
I think we did movies or dramas.
That's what it was. And so now I wanted to do our top sitcoms of all time.
That was all time. It's all time.
Yeah, all time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
of our time.
Of our time. Yeah. And you may asking like, what's a sitcom, Chase? I'm gonna tell you what a sitcom is.
Tell me.
Sitcom could be something like Modern Family, which is a mockumentary.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Modern Family.
Or it could be something like The Big Bang Theory, which is I think that's a multi-camera. That's multi-camera, which is usually either live audience or laugh track.
Yeah.
And those are sitcoms. And so you start off. What you got for me?
Let me see. I'll go with let's see, Arrested Development.
That's on my list too.
Right.
That's one of the.
All right.
That's on my list. That's a fucking.
Actually, you know what? I'll change it.
No, we'll just talk about it. I want to talk about it. Yeah, I'll talk about it because that's
that
one of my favorite shows too. Because I didn't watch it at first when it first came out.
I didn't either.
Because I think I missed the boat on it, whatever. But
I think the commercials didn't really speak to me. Like I didn't really understand what it was.
I don't think that show got good promotion. Like it wasn't advertised well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't grab you. I was probably an older teen, like my 17s or something like that when that show came out. No, probably 16 or 17 when that show came out. But I finally went back and downloaded them all. I guess this isn't correct, but retard laughed almost every episode.
Uncontrollable.
Maybe that's a better word. Uncontrollable laughter every episode. The mom. Buster,
Buster's.
Is it Jeb? What's it? Joe. Always got me going.
Yeah.
I mean, that show.
I watched most of it on
Netflix.
On Netflix.
I think that's where I did too. Actually, on Netflix.
Because back when it came out, I might have cut half of one here or there.
Yeah.
And,
Steve Holt.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Steve Holt.
It reminded me of Do the Rules.
Yeah, but Steve Holt.
Yeah.
Just work.
I love
good.
that.
What do you got? No, I mean, fuck that show. It
was a good show.
Fucking amazing show. The only thing that sucked.
It had a big cast.
Yeah, it had a huge cast. But the only thing that sucked was when they came back and it came with Netflix original, that new season.
I didn't watch it. I'm not even there yet.
I don't know. If you haven't watched it, don't, because you will lose that essence of what that show was.
I don't know if I would. I'm kind of
not saying it's not as good. It's just you're gonna see night and day.
Right, but that's kind of what I expected, to be honest. Because there's no way
they're older.
There's no way you can keep that kind of spark.
That box. It was in it's in a box. Not saying it's confined, but it's just since it came back, it's in a new box. You know what I mean? That's probably a shitty metaphor, but it was a totally night and day.
What do you think that is? Do you think it's because it's a new, just literally in a new time period, and it influences them differently? Or
I want to say writing. Because of character development. I know it's still the same creator who was the showrunner. I forget his name right now.
Yeah.
Horowitz? Something like that? I can't think of it. But he was still a showrunner, the creator of it. I just think writing and character development. Because I'll bring up a show that is also on my list that did this, was characters started doing stuff that those characters from season 1 through 4, whatever it was, stopped doing. They started doing stuff that character wouldn't do. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
So that's what it became. It started to be well, Joe wouldn't do that. It was stuff like that. It was just...
It was a different person.
And a lot of the, their punchline and jokes were just
feel forced.
Forced, and they missed, and it was just how many seasons is it? Do you know?
I don't remember. No.
But the original,
feels 9.
the pre-Netflix original, it was just so smooth, fluid, just boom, 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 funny.
They had weird stories,
funny shit too.
Weird random stuff.
Yeah.
They made a whole episode about that.
It was but no, Arrested Development I think was one of my favorites because it's one of the greats, I think. It was fucking funny. The mom I fucking love. She was so racist, so mean, and just so cold, and it was fucking hilarious. Her thing on just immigrants always cracked me up. It's just funny.
I don't like immigrants.
It was fucking good. Your phone did so. But so talk real quick.
Hello.
Okay, and no, it's a good one. So, what on my list is I'm gonna go big because I'm a big fanner.
Sure.
Is Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Seinfeld was one of my favorites. Writing.
It always comes down to writing.
It always comes down to writing. I know that show came out in the '90s. I was just a kid.
Yeah.
But as an adult and everything, and late teenager, I fucking love that show.
You can appreciate it.
You know, I mean, George is my guy.
Yeah.
I see a lot of George in me.
Yeah.
You know, I think he is that. I think a lot of people saw George. You know, because
without him, that show wouldn't have been like half as good.
Yeah, because Jerry Seinfeld, he was like always getting dates. You know, he's Jerry Seinfeld. He's tall. He's handsome in that show. You know, sense.
In that time period.
Yeah, and Kramer was just the goofy guy, and for George, he was just the guy who's short, bald, kind of fat. And it was just he just struggled. It was like this more a lot relatable and
his parents
it was
all
just
bad, like
fucking perfect. And like the other night, I was watching an episode called the Kazone. And so the calzone. What did I say? Calzone?
Yeah, it's calzone.
Is that maybe I'm California? I don't know. Maybe I just pronounced it wrong. But it's an episode where the George Costanza's boss wants a calzone, and so George he's telling a story how he was getting the calzone from the Italian pizza place, and the guy didn't see him tip. And he got awkward, so his plan was to make the guy see him tip. Yeah. And if you've seen the episode, I'm talking about more. That same day,
did he do it on purpose? Did the guy who was like working there turn around on purpose?
No, he was just like because they'd be like they were talking. He's like, "Hey, Joey," and he'd like turn real quick, and he the first time he missed. And that same day, I was at the lunch across from UCR, and I did the same thing where like. I was waiting for the guy to see me drop the tip in. Yeah. It was just like I was fucking cracking up. I was like, "Oh fuck, I did that!"
I'm doing that right now.
Yeah, exactly. So Seinfeld holds up.
That they didn't have as many characters as Arrested Development. I mean, as far as core characters.
It's always what. Julian. Her name so always gets me. Julian Dryas. I don't know, but anyways.
Just I don't know.
But it's just Jason Alexander, Kramer, and
every now and then the Postman. What's his name?
Postman. Newman.
Newman.
Right. Yeah. How many times I got that all the time? I always got that.
I think I might have said that.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But no, fucking holds up. I always have 5 episodes in my DVR that's always recycling.
Yeah.
Fucking love that show. It's one of my favorites.
Can't lose.
Yeah.
What you got? Let me see. My next one would have to be.
Yeah, a lot.
I wrote down a lot.
Quite a lot.
I like TV. Probably, yeah.
TV was my mom and dad.
Married with Children. Like, that has to be up there, top 4 at least.
Christina Apple something.
Applegate.
I don't think it's Applegate.
I'm pretty sure it's Applegate.
Applewood.
No, it's not Applewood. It's not
Applewood bacon.
Mesquite.
But she was one of my childhood crushes when I was a kid because she was
a lot of people's crushes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. She was just that. Those high jeans, high 90 jeans. You know what I mean?
Coming back now.
Those are coming back, huh? Yeah, that's true, huh? Because they
wear them high and tight.
They wear them high now. High and tight.
High and tight.
I do not wear them tight.
I will. If they ask me to.
Yeah, it's too uncomfortable down there.
You just gotta maneuver.
Yeah, it becomes a division sign.
You gotta tuck, you gotta roll.
Tuck and roll and flip.
So yeah, I mean, I remember that being one of the shows that my dad would actually enjoy watching.
It was like you and your dad watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember just because it was me and him, but I just remember he would like come in. He didn't have much patience for like regular shows, but that one he like actually laughed at.
I was laughing because Al Bundy.
Yeah, he's the man.
I think I nailed it. That name, Al Bundy. That's his name, right? Because his name was also Bundy, right? In the show?
In the show, yeah.
He was also Bundy. It was crazy how they did that a lot in the 90s.
Right, they used their real names.
You know what I mean? They used their names a lot. Like Seinfeld, Bundy, you have Will Smith in Fresh Prince, and you have Martin. Like, they used that was like a thing in the 90s. It was just like, we're not making up characters.
Well, you know what's cool though, because those characters. Well, I don't know about Al Bundy.
I guess they were characters, huh? Like
those
people, their persona were like the characters.
I think they were like amplified versions of themselves.
That makes sense. Yeah, because speaking of amplified versions of themselves, was Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah,
Larry David, the creator of Seinfeld, and one of the main writers. Curb Your Enthusiasm is an amplified version of himself.
Yeah.
And his amplified version. Kind of a creep, kind of a dick. He's rude. But like what I was listening to a podcast, and he's not on podcast. He's on one. He's on 2 actually.
Is he?
He did a Fresh Air interview.
That is.
It's NPR, like Fresh Air. It's like kind of a.
You just type in Larry David to see what came up.
Yeah, it's kind of.
That's
I do that with random people.
That's the best way to do it.
Like I did that with I'm drawing on blanks, but I do that with people to kind of like I wonder if they're on a podcast,
Yeah.
And I do listen to Fresh Air. It's an NPR one, and then he was on one with Jeff Garland, who's the big guy in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah. I like that guy because he's loud, his laugh, but Larry David was saying that his character, because people always wonder, like, are you like that? Because he's kind of a dick. Yeah. But what it really is it's brutally honest.
Yeah.
And that's what I like because I slowly have become that in the sense where it was honest. Like there's times where
honest Abe.
Yeah, but sometimes it's so weird because sometimes like people are more comfortable with you. They rather have like you will.
Have you lied to them?
Exactly, blatantly in their face lie to them. It's just like I don't want to lie to you. Like there's like an example was a friend of my sister's was just like, oh we should hang out. You're in the area, like, but I was just like, yeah, no. And they're like, everyone was kind of like throwing back. Thanks. Yeah, I was like, no thanks. And they're like, why? I was like, well, if I give you my number, I'm gonna give you hope, and then you can call me Bane. And I just, no, like, I'm sorry. And like everyone was, and like I remember one person was just like, just lie. I'm like,
I mean,
well, fuck though.
Depending on the person, I might lie.
Yeah.
Because there's
just to get them away.
There's some people you just want to get away from or not hear just not hear it anymore.
Am I wrong?
No.
I'm sure it hurts. It stings because you're like, okay, we're not gonna hang out. Like, no, we're not going to. Like,
no, I mean, because
but the situation was also we've never hung out before. I'm not a big fan of you. Like, why?
I mean, would you rather like pretend later on, like, oh, maybe I'll give him a call and maybe we'll do something, and then you're like, well, how come he's not responding to me?
Because I don't want to hang out with you.
Exactly.
So Larry David, I like that because he's honest. And there's times where you should be honest, but. I mean, obviously, I'm not always like that. That's like borderline, like autistic, But like, I just sometimes, I was actually listening to like this whole podcast about autism. Pretty odd, But what you may call it, they're just to the point. It's just like
this is what it is,
and they just thought
you're fat.
Exactly.
Ouch.
They're almost all kids are autistic.
Yeah.
I remember going hiking with my one nephew, and he was like, "Well, that guy has big feet." I'm like, the fuck, dude? This guy was like 7 foot tall too. I'm like, you don't say that in public. But no, Curb Your Enthusiasm, writing, acting, it's 90% improv. The story is there, but I just recently like finished all because I own a few of the seasons, and I just kind of like.
Yeah, that was when I need to like.
Uncontrollably laughter too. Like I'll be in bed just cracking up and everything. She's kind of like looking at me like, okay.
No, Jimmy.
It's fun. I like it. What did you got?
I think that might be all that I have written down. Oh, Martin. That was my other because I
have like 30 things.
Well, these ones aren't all sitcoms. These are all just shows.
Oh, okay.
So
is that Fresh Prince on there?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's yours. But yeah, Martin. So,
I did add it. Yeah. It's on there. I mean, it's kind of like. So you see how I don't hit with that one.
I got you. But yeah, so Martin was a weird one because like you wouldn't imagine me like
black people
watching that show. I mean, if you knew me, you probably would. But that show was just Martin. If you don't know,
what's Martin?
I don't know what's his real name. Martin. What's his last name? God dang it, I'm blanking.
Martin Short.
No, other Martin. He's a good Martin too, though. He's funny.
The Glick show, whatever. That was a really funny show. Lawrence. Martin Lawrence.
Okay, so Martin Lawrence at that time was like huge, like
stand up.
His movies, like everything. So like I was really into him.
That's how Bad Boys became made because of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith and Martin was Martin Lawrence, like,
and they had a good intro for their music.
Martin,
it's catchy. Yeah. But yeah, so I remember like it's not like when you think like 90s shows, like that's not one that most people think of.
Yeah.
But for me, like for whatever reason, like it was just always on.
Yeah. I think it was also reruns with Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
It was Fresh Prince and Martin.
Stacked.
Because like Fresh Prince was more like morals, principles. It was hip because Will Smith was hip, but it was also like white. You know what I mean? Like
it was
white kids could watch it. Yeah, exactly. But and then Martin was more urban. It was more like
more real.
Even to this day, it's on, but it's on BET.
Because like they showed him in that show like having like real struggles. Like
exactly. Yeah. Where Fresh Prince of Bel-Air can be on Nickelodeon or Nick at Night or TBS.
Was Queen Latifah on that show?
Think so.
Or was that Living Color?
It might be Living Color.
Because I watched that show too.
Living Color is the skit-based one, right?
I think, yeah.
Homie the Clown?
Yeah.
Homie, don't play that shit.
That was a fun show too.
That was a good one. Yeah, so Martin was good.
Yeah.
So I also had one of my favorites, and it always hits home, was The Office.
Yeah.
To me, an American Office. I watched the British one. There's stuff that's like funny, especially the white jeans episode, the party jeans. Like it's funny because you're just watching Ricky Gervais like in these white jeans, but like Michael Scott being Steve Carell in these white jeans, even funnier. But like The Office, I'll say seasons 1 through 5 were some of the most, like especially 1 through 3 was the most brilliant TV making. It set the bar. I mean, like if it wasn't for The Office, you wouldn't have Parks and Recreation, which is a dime.
You don't think so?
No, you wouldn't, because the people who created Office were one of the head writers and creators of Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec is great.
It's a dime, yeah. And then you also wouldn't have shows like Modern Family, which is one of the biggest rated.
I can't.
It's not one of my favorites, but
I like it. But when it's on, I catch it, but I'm not like craving it. Like,
because The Office, you wouldn't have shows like that. You know what I mean? So The Office is one of the funniest. And that's like one of the first shows where I like totally nerded out, and like every time I got the new DVD, it was like. The commentary, the deleted scenes, the bloopers, everything, dude. Like, it was to the point now where The Office is the show where if I put on at night, I'm passing out. Just because, like,
it's comfortable.
It's so comfortable, and I know, I'll be even like, I'll be laughing because I know what's being shown.
Do you have that? Like, I have that, like, where if I want to sleep, go to sleep, I like to have the TV on.
Yeah.
But I can't do anything. I can't watch anything and fall asleep comfortably if I'm interested in it.
Yeah, I can.
But if it's something I've watched a lot of and I know by heart, like I prefer that.
It's just The Office. Anything else, I'm gonna be watching, or like
I can do it to Seinfeld, like because I know.
Yeah, I can do that one too.
Like, things like that.
It's the
movies that I've seen 100 times.
Okay, I can't mimic the Seinfeld like
that's hard
bass and pops, but that's one that I can rest. But The Office, to me. Nights out, and I was just like talking about this last night with Chris, one buddy Chris, where South Park is like, you know how like I think you too, but I sleep with a fan on, you know, for noise, or he can't sleep with a fan, but South Park, he's out like because he's seen it so many times, so
he turns it into comfortable white noise.
Exactly. So The Office to me. It's one of the most brilliant shows that was out. And I kind of lost touch of it because, like I was saying, like Arrested Development, I think writers started leaving. I know, like, at one point, the creator and the one writer, Mike Shore, started working on Parks and Rec more. Yeah. So, like, characters on The Office started doing stuff where, like, they were never like this.
It was uncharacteristic of
Very much so. And so, other than that, and then Community.
See, I only watch, like, to be honest, I only watched like maybe 20 episodes.
I got all of them.
Yeah, I'll borrow them. Because what I watched was funny, but it was one of those that was always like at a random time for me.
It was always the underdog.
It wasn't the underdog for me.
No, I'm saying like that show, it was always like on a dumb time.
Yeah.
It was always getting switched from Tuesdays to Thursdays. It was on NBC, and like they just didn't care about that network because the whole Nielsen rating thing was bullshit because they said people weren't watching it, but what people were doing our age was DVR. Yeah. They were streaming it, they were downloading it, and it's just like it's one of the biggest cult shows out there because the writing. Because I mean, it's Dan Harmon. Yeah, and there's only one season that's just like, and they even talk about it later on. Like, oh, it was a gas leak. Like they blend on the gas leak.
Well, what do you think the real problem was with that?
They fired Dan Harmon.
Oh, like, was that?
Yeah, he was fired.
Was that the last season?
Not the last one, because the last one was on Yahoo only, and they did a pretty good job. Like,
so Dan Harmon didn't do the Yahoo deal.
No, he did. He did. He got fired for season 5 or 4, and that was before Yahoo. Like Sony fired him. They had a new showrunner on for the NBC, and it was a 180. Like characters started being different and everything, and it was really big in Doctor Who. And it was like, he makes a joke, Dan Harmon, on one of his podcasts.
Dan Harmon likes Doctor Who?
Well,
I like Doctor Who.
I think he respects Doctor Who, but when he got fired, the people at Sony were like, oh, this fan base likes Doctor Who, so let's almost do this whole season back to Doctor Who. So one person from Sony had to watch all of Doctor Who.
Are you serious?
That's basically, and so Dan Harmon kind of like vaguely talks about how one poor soul at Sony in a suit and tie had to watch all of Doctor Who because Community.
That's a lot of TV.
It's a lot of TV.
There's a lot of Doctor Who.
Yeah, and so I don't know. Community was writing, it was acting. I mean, the jokes, the references were just. Everything was hitting home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I definitely need to catch up on.
It's good, dude. It's because it's like I think because you like Workaholics, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna put that on, but I was like, it's still too young. But Workaholics, I think for us, it's our generation. Yeah. Their references like Rugrats and stuff we grew up with. So
I know somebody at work said that show is like if you don't want to think for 30 minutes, just put that on.
I don't know. Sometimes they hit home with some cool references. Like I was like, oh shit, that's a fucking.
I mean, it's just a show where you don't take seriously, but it's funny. Like it's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, like I think the more recent seasons they've really like gone outside of their box in the sense where
like doing story stuff.
Because like longest time it was just three best friends in a cubicle
in an office
or at home. But now they're really going on adventures. Well, they definitely do. Like TV, you have to start going outside. But Community is one of my favorites. Like it's like another commentary.
You binge watch all that.
All the production and everything. I just loved it, and it's one of those shows too that just like always made me happy because. It's the underdog. It really how he even wrote it. It was just the underdog, because the whole story is about 7 misfits of society going back to community college. You know what I mean? So there's times where
did Chevy Chase do all these seasons or no?
All of them except for the last 2.
Really?
Where he was done.
So how many are there? 6?
I think there's 7.
7?
7. I think there's 7 or 6.
Are they still doing them on Yahoo or no? Are they done?
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but the last season was on Yahoo.
Okay.
And how they ended it was this could be the end.
Okay.
But we're not going to say it.
Sure.
It was very tasteful.
That's good.
I don't say this so much, but it was very tasteful because not too many shows do that.
Yeah.
Because they're like, let's keep milking it. Yeah. And it's like...
Until it's too bad. It was really
and
not good.
How they did it was perfect. Because I think I even teared up because it was just it was so because it was
it's like a tribute to the fans.
Exactly. And they kind of did a full circle. And it was that's cool. But... there's times where even today I'm in class, and I'll have classes where there's just the one old guy, and it's just so pierced. And it's so funny because I remember one time I was taking the acoustics class, and it's all trig. It's fucking math heavy, and how we took our final was in groups.
Okay.
How we did it was the group leader was someone who got an A in the midterm. And we all had to work together in our final groups and, solve the problem. They gave you a chance because it was some fucking hard trick, And some people there were just I just want to make beats, But we had an old group.
Is that your black impression?
Yeah. I don't know. No, you didn't know who that was.
Sure.
That was actually a white male named Jeremy. From Ohio. Okay. I just want to make beats. But we had an old guy in our group. And the guy who was our group leader was a fucking smart cat. This dude was, just busting out these problems. And the old guy was like, what? And he was slowing down. I kept on having I'm trying to, copy the guy's answers, and then I'm having to flip my page. I'm like, come on, dude, catch up. And he's just like, that's a 5 or a B. Fuck, dude. He's going fast, man. It was just it was like Pierce, it was just the old guy, and Community brought that to me because it made it funny, so
made it a little more enjoyable.
Last two was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Last one's Fresh Prince. Yeah, I have that on my list too.
It's good. I know.
How many seasons is that? 20?
No, actually, it's only 6 or 7 like that. Not too much because it starts in 93 or some shit, and they ended 98 or something like that. Not too into the late 90s.
I do have one more.
Yeah, what you got?
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was gonna put that. I
love that show.
I lost touch of it.
It has some bad seasons or bad episodes.
Dude, the Christmas special.
But the ones that they hit, oh my god, they hit.
I remember.
So funny.
I remember watching that. I'm not sure if I ever talked about it in the podcast. Where I think I was a senior in high school, and FX was doing a thing where you vote for the pilot to what be made, and it was Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I remember watching the night when they were doing the vote. It was Always Sunny.
Voting on?
It was Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
No, what channel or what?
It was FX. It was just you text them or something. It was just what. There's 2 shows, and then the people viewing were voting on which show was going to be picked up.
Yeah.
And it was Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and this other show, which was based on a guy who was just socially awkward, and it was pretty funny, but it was really, really dry. And it was funny, but
it's British humor.
Yeah, just about, And then Always Sunny was the episode where it was Charlie talking about black people hanging from the roofs, the rafters, and it was no contest. You know what I mean? It was no contest. It was the one where the whole black episode, no contest. So, and I know at least the first 4 or 5 seasons, I know those ones. And I know they've been killing it, still to this day.
Like, I watched, I think, last night, I watched an episode from season 9.
Yeah.
And I was laughing, like legit laughs. It was fun.
My favorite is probably the Christmas special. I don't think I laughed as hard on any show was the Christmas special. And that was the one where Charlie's all freaked out about Santa Claus. He doesn't like Santa Claus because Santa Claus was banging his mom. And he ends up biting Santa Claus on his neck. And then you have Frank in the couch, and he comes busting out butt naked.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is that what he got stuck in the couch?
That's what he got stuck in the couch. And I mean, the most pure
craziness,
laughing, and
I just like how they come up with new schemes every episode. Like their scheming is on.
I just like how they're just like almost a lot of the shows they're idiots.
Yeah,
and they get away with like racism, being assholes, but they're idiots,
and they don't know it.
It's fucking pure genius.
I think my favorite one was when it was like the wrestling episode.
Birds of Prey.
God, that was so funny.
There's too many. Like there's that one. I really like the Nightman Cometh. The whole play. Defender of the Day. I mean, the fucking on that season. I think I have it. They actually do that on a play. That whole
they did.
And I watched it. And it's fucking just so good. And
I'm so happy. It's like all the seasons are on Netflix.
Oh, they're on. It's all on Netflix. I probably have to go back to it because it's so good. Because like I've seen most of it, but there's a while like The Office where I kind of lost it.
Yeah,
good shit though.
Dove in on that.
Yeah.
So that's all
you had right there?
That's all I had.
Okay. I like sitcoms, and I was thinking maybe not next episode, but people out there, in TV land or computer land,
YouTube land, really.
YouTube land. Also, a website. You can put them on our website or not?
I'm gonna try.
Okay, it's all that free data. But I wanted to do an episode of we talk about the worst TV theme songs. There's some out there. Like I don't want to spoil it.
All right.
But there's some TV theme songs where it's just after the first season, you're like, fucking do a minimal version of this theme song.
I think I already have a number one. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
I have a number one.
Yeah, I have a couple, but
that's a good one.
Like I said, like all the ones on my list, I can listen to the intro all the time. Yeah. Like The Office. Once I hear it, I'm like, oh, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's a song. I'm like, fuck yeah, cool. Seinfeld, it's quick. The best is Curb Your Enthusiasm because it's boom, 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 boom.
There's a lot of good ones. Yeah, it's quick.
But there's a lot of bad ones. So people out there, shoot us some of your worst ones, and you can do on Twitter at BigFanPod. Twitter, you can do hashtag BFP so I can find it. You can even just tag me with the podcast. Facebook, just hit us up. You can email us at bigfanpod@gmail. Or if you're related to us or whatever, text us.
Let me know.
And we'll add your guys' if it's not on it. Because if it's on my list, I'm going to take credit for it.
And if you don't like the ones we just talked about today, don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me. But so until next time, thanks for listening and enjoy.
Thank you.